Welcome to episode 17 of the All Things Odd podcast. We are finally back from our summer break, and to kick things off, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, you can see we're not in the studio. We have finally taken the podcast on the road. Today we're set up camp in Manchester, and I'm joined by our special guest, Mr. Tom Cleary from Tom Cleary Tree Care. Tom, thank you for having us on, mate.
Yeah.
How's tricks?
Good, mate, yeah, good. 6:45 at night and still me work shit like normal, so yeah, we're alright, pal, we're good.
Best way to go about it, isn't
Yeah.
it? How did you get started in the business then?
So, 15 years old, I used to work for a friend of mine. Her dad is a tree surgeon in the local area, so I started with his Saturday lad, and then I went to college after school at 16 to be a spark. So I'm going to become an electrician. Now, I used to work with him every Saturday, and I used to have Tuesdays off. So I would work with him on a Tuesday and on a Saturday. His lad ended up leaving halfway into my course. I enjoyed it. He asked me if I wanted a full-time job, and here we are today.
So, potential electrician,
Yeah.
goes to tree surgery,
Yeah.
and here we are. How old are you now then?
I'm 29 now.
29, so you got a couple of years under your belt.
Yeah, I've got a few years, yeah.
Enjoying it?
Yeah, still love it every day.
It's a question that you ask someone who's been in the job 5 minutes. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah.
Like 10 years into it, loving it.
Love
Absolutely
it,
loving
absolutely do love it.
So what year did you start your business?
2015 I started it, so I've been going about 6 years now.
Yeah.
October 2015. So yeah. I took a few years, learnt a few. Didn't have a clue what I was doing when I started. And then I started to, you just get a chipper, get a van, and that's the end of it. And that's the rest, as you say, is history.
What was your first combination, chipper and van?
Well, I had 08 Ford Transit and a Quick Chip 160.
Quick chip, so
Yeah.
what's that? That's got to be 90s then?
I can't remember what year it was.
Yeah.
It was old though. It was old.
And to keep those back.
Yeah, it had chips and brash anyway.
So have you always been in Manchester then?
Always been in Manchester, yeah. Local lad to my area. Everyone knows me in my local area, so I like to say I'm an hard worker, and everyone knows me for that around where I live. So yeah, I'm usually busy most of the time.
Question I'd love to ask, what was your first job where you've gone out, you've priced her up? Did you win or did you make a bit of a balls up?
So my first big job, I used to do conifers and stuff like that, fell a few conifers. I had a Nissan Navara, I had nothing but trouble with it, so it was a pickup because I was working full time, so I wanted to get something where I looked pretty cool. Driving about, yeah. So I bought that thinking, right, I can put my tools in the back of it. Didn't have any clam tickets, didn't have any ground tickets. Just put my tools in the back of it. Go and knock Mrs. Jones's little conifer out for 50 quid or whatever. Yeah. Put it down the back of the pickup, and get rid of it onto the next one. So that's where I first started. So my first big job was in Cheshire. I can't remember how much money I had on it, but it was me and another lad, and we was basically clearing a site. Do you know what? I didn't have bad money on it, to be fair.
Everyone says that we didn't have bad money on it, and then you get home, you go, oh shit.
Yeah, I price stuff now, and I think, oh, for God's sake, I shouldn't have priced that. But yeah, I had decent money on it, and then we had a bonfire, so there was there was no chipper involved. It was cut the trees down. I'd not long been climbing, so it was a bit sketchy, and me and a lad from work booked a week off, and hammered this job and got it smashed off. So it was in the middle of Cheshire, middle of a nice area in Cheshire. So there's this site, we're burning all the brash, quite a windy day in winter, all the ashes going up in the air and going over to this nice house conservatory next door, all of the murk. So yeah, we weren't very popular. So I think a bit of the money, a bit of the profit went on bunging them for a car wash.
Gee, mate. So can you remember buying like your first new piece of kit? Or was everything called second hand? Because if you watch on the video, it looks it.
Yeah, everything's second hand. Not everything. Do you know what? The first bit of kit I bought, because what I did was I'd save up. I'd do a foreigner. I'd save up. I'd buy something I needed. So when you're setting up, or when you're trying to set up, you're in attempt to set up, which is what I always wanted to do. I always wanted to set up on my own, but obviously you work for people beforehand and then you go from there. So my one's always second-hand gear. The best thing I bought, the most newest thing I bought was me 500i, brand new.
Oh, lovely chainsaw.
Yeah.
Everyone knows my opinion on the 500i.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah, great saw. Best saw I own.
So everyone knows my opinion on the 500i. I will admit it, I am a still fanboy, but it is a saw and a half. You ever gone to Husky at all, or you've always been still?
I'm a mixture, so I've got a few Huskies. I've got the T540 climbing saw.
Still better than the 200T. No, 201T, sorry. Not the 200T.
Yeah, it is, correct. Yeah. I've got 2 201Ts and I've got 4 200Ts. So I've got quite... I am into my saws and I'm into my collection. I've got the Husky Ground-It, which I love. T5... what's the ground saw now? Everyone uses.
You got the 540s and then you got the big one 395s.
Not got a 395. I can't even think of what the Husky Ground is. I've got 3 of them, and then I've got a medium Husky. I think that's a 571. Yeah. And then the rest is still. So I've got an 88, which rarely comes out.
Biggest saw I ever had to own was a 660. Bought it from Jonesy's. Yeah. Used it maybe once and then ended up selling it. There was no reason to buy it. And I've only ever touched an 880 at like an APF show.
Well, I got a good deal on the 880. It was near enough brand new. I got it off a lad that I know because he is the same. He stopped. Yeah. It was at the bottom of his toolbox collecting dust. He said, "Do you want this?" I said, "Yeah, 500 quid." He'd not done much work, so I thought at that price, he owed me a favour as well. So at that price, I thought I'm having it. Yeah. Tried to dismantle this pot with it. Tried dragging it because I didn't have a 6.6 at the time. So the next medium saw was not big enough, so I ended up buying this 88 with had a 32-inch bar on it. And could I drag it up this pop to dismantle this pop? No.
What was the pop? 20-inch or something? Just overkill.
No, it was a decent sized Lombarder. I was just dismantling it, just ringing it down, and by about 3 or 4 cuts trying to drag it back up, I thought I'm done. I'd done me. So I went and borrowed my mate's 6.6 to finish the job off because it was too heavy.
You ever looked at the electric stuff?
No. A lad that I know, he's using a ground saw with it. It looks alright. I've picked it up a couple of times and used it, but no, it just...
You miss the sound and the vibrations.
It's not for me. Yeah. And I'm all for, saving the planet and all that, as we do, cutting down trees. But, they're not for me. I'm well into me petrol.
So tell us about some of the kit that you got here, because you've got a Predator, we've got a Force. That a Joe Bew over there? The yellow one?
That's not mine, that's another lad's. So we've got the pedestrian stump grinder, which is ideal for little bits of shrubs. That was out today. Yeah. We took a load of shrubs out in the garden for a guy who is in Hollyoaks. I don't watch it, but I did a job for him today in Worsley. So that come out today, knocking some shrubs out this morning. Then we've got the bit of a bigger machine, the Predator, 28RX on the remote control. Love that.
Oh, that's just a toy for you. That's not a work.
I've had that. The tracks go in. I've had it in some unbelievable. I've had it going through people's houses. Yeah. Honestly, you can get it some tight places. And then they've got the ST6 6-inch machine on wheels, and we've got the TR6 on tracks. We do quite a bit of work for Scottish Power, doing substation clearance work. So that comes into its own there. We've got a Bobcat 2.5-ton machine with a flail, the rotating log grab, obviously buckets. That's an handy little tool when that comes out. What else have we got? That's probably about it, to be fair.
What else is on your shopping list?
Oh God, I don't know. I'd love a Mog. I'd love a Mog, but I don't think I'd get the use out of it. I've got a 7.5-ton wagon then. I don't really use that. That was a bit of a project that I bought. We've just bought a 9-inch Bandit last week.
Oh yes, I remember seeing that the other week.
Corner,
the Rusty Bucket. Bucket.
Needs a lot of work doing to it. But I'll get it right. It's an old machine, 1999 model, 90 XP. So it's a 9 inches by 17. Yeah. So I bought it to go in the back of the 7.5-ton wagon. And and then to feed it, we get big horrible conifer jobs.
Yeah.
You can feed it with the rotating log grab straight into it, and that's what I've bought it for.
Because I was going to ask, it's not going behind the van, is it, by any chance? It's a bit big?
No, it'll blow an hole in the back of that Transit. It'll be in the it'll be behind the 7.5 tonner.
What did you have before the Forsts?
Quick chip.
Oh, so you had,
chip,
when did you get these then?
So I've had my track machine. God bless me, Quick Chip. It lasted me for about 2.5, 3 years.
Yeah.
It was the best little chipper you've ever seen. Honestly, I've worked it into the ground. It was old when I got it, and then the last job I did with it, I was doing some conifers, and I used to have to take the bonnet off it because it overheated that much. So I'd be on a job, bonnet would be off, the chipper would be smoking and steaming, and then by the end of, I can't remember what happened to it. I think one of the injectors went, and it was what the repairs were going to be was going to be far more expensive than than what the machine was worth. So I bit the bullet, saved up, had some money put aside money for that day because I was expecting that day to come. The chipper went down on the job. You couldn't see the street for smoke. Honestly, it was horrendous. And that weekend I thought, right, and I've used Force with a lad that I know from Rochdale. I've used a few of his Force. When I first went on my own, I was subcontracting to him, just filling days in here and there when I had the opportunity because I didn't have loads of work. And he used his machines and just fell in love with them from there. Love Force.
Any issues?
Touch
wood now.
Yeah, we've had a few. Touch wood. My track machine has been sort of bulletproof. I had a hydraulic hose burst on it a few weeks ago on a job in Wales. Got all the way to Wales, and then I had to come all the way back. I was chipping for half an hour, and I had to come all the way back.
Yeah.
This has had some sensor issues, but that's been about it. Now it's sorted. It's right. Oh, we had I think the computer in it messed up, so we had to get that rechanged. We had to get that all changed up. But credit to Forced, they do help you out quite a bit when they can.
Yeah, the aftercare service. Yeah. All I've heard is people really raving about it.
I've rang them up, and then on site they've been like, "I've got a bit of an issue," and they've gone, "Right, it's this, and this."
Yeah.
And next minute, it's back up running. We're chipping again.
Sorted.
So, sorted. Yeah. So I can't argue with them. Honestly, they're good. I'd love the 8-inch machine next, bigger machine on tracks. The XR8.
Do Force need to do a bigger machine, so like a 12-inch maybe?
10, 12
10,
inch
12,
would be unbelievable. Because I hire the 8-inch off when I get big jobs in. That's why I bought the Bandit, because when I get bigger jobs in, I do hire a bigger machine in because I don't want to put the stress on these machines. Yeah. So I'll hire a bigger machine in with more power, get the job done quicker, and you can put bigger stuff through it. So 10 or 12 inch would be unreal.
I think that's what people are waiting for next, because you've got like that really old Timberwolf with the dualies, and no one's ever done anything since. Because if you want a big machine, then you go into the Bandits, you go into the Schlesingers, for instance. There's nothing really between like the 8-9 inch to the 12 inch. There's no real powerful machine out there, and you hear Force always bang on the best chippers in Europe, which they are getting there. I'm honest, I've had Doug on the podcast and I did grim a little bit, but I have a love-hate relationship with Forced. I'm Timberwolf through and through. I got educated on one in college. I've used them all my life. I have used the Forced. Didn't kind of get on with it at the time. It felt like it didn't really pull everything through.
Yeah.
But the last couple of years, mate, you can't go down the motorway without seeing a Forced. You don't see any other chipper nowadays.
I say it's what you're used to as well. So people will go from, if you've been brought up on a Timberwolf, if you started off using a Timberwolf, people love Timberwolves. Yeah. The lad I used to work with when I was younger, he had a quick chip, a T22 on a turntable, and I remember him getting it, and it was the best thing on sliced bread. Honestly, it was a fantastic machine. That was like it was a 7-inch machine or 8-inch. I'm not too sure. It was a long while ago. So I was brought up on quick chips, and I seen this quick chip online. I thought, right, I'm going for that. I'm having that. So then when I used the Force after that, I thought, I like that, so that's what I'm having.
Stuck with it.
Yeah.
Now, Little Dicky Bates told me a couple of stories. You appearing in newspapers, maybe going in an air ambulance, which you missed out on. Yeah. We're going to have story time with Tom, so we'll start off with, I think it's the lesser of the two evils.
Yeah.
Conifer tree, mate.
Right. Right, so no one Not many people know about this, so when you was asking me, I thought, right, I've got to throw this in somewhere. I've sent you the video. No, only our group chat's seen the video, the lads that we work with.
Mate, I'm uploading it to Instagram when this podcast comes out.
Oh, you can, mate, you can. Makes me look like a proper unprofessional moron. But, so, we're on this job in Manchester. Gets this job. I price it in winter. So this guy, he's got a few houses on the row. It's a big block of terraces. He's got a few houses. He's ripping one out. There's these trees in the back garden. So can you come have a look? Yeah, of course, can I have a look. Bearing in mind, I've done work for him. He was one of a foreigner that I did years and years ago when I was working for another company. He used to go out and do foreigners. So he'd had my number for 4 or 5 years. Goes out to do this job, to look at this job, quote this job in winter, like January. So I said, yeah, quotes this job, 4 conifers in the back garden. Thinking, yeah, we can do this next couple of months, the next month or so, whatever, while it's winter. So landlocked back garden, terraces, middle of Manchester. There's literally, you can't drag it through. You're dragging it upstairs and all sorts. It was impossible to do. So there's 4 conifers come out, decent size. So I thought, right, we'll have a bonfire. So there was a tree. The biggest one was covered in it was either wisteria or Russian vine. So you can imagine what it's like. That's been cut off at the bottom, dead. So there was no way of climbing it. You're climbing up it. You know, you're getting tangled up. There was no way. It was that dense and thick. The only way was to have a fire. So I coached the job. Had all right money on the job. Winter, perfect. You know, cold day. We'll get a bonfire going at the bottom of the garden. Bit smoky. You know, get the fire burning up. No one's gonna bat an eyelid. So
I know what's coming next. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, you're now gonna see the video. Enjoy.
Yeah. So, by the way, everyone, I am not this unprofessional. So I get a phone call to come do the job. I don't say no to jobs, because if you start saying no to work, no matter how bad they are, if you just took the cream all the time, you won't be in work for 80% of the time. So we do get, as tree cutters, we do get bad jobs. So I get a phone call back in about July. All right, we need these trees doing. So I'm like, it's summer, you know, people got the washing out. He said, no, go on, it'll be all right. He said, right, as long as you don't mind, catch the ball if it gets a bit smoky, or, you know, as you know, if conifer goes up and it does smoke. So he said, you can catch the ball to the customer. So we said, right, okay, no problem. So we has a fire. It's a bit windy. Next minute, the wind changed direction and it starts creeping up the tree. So we stopped putting stuff on. I said, listen, lads, I said, nah, it's not a good idea, this. It's not a good idea. Bearing in mind, we burnt 3 already, so this was the last tree. It was covered in Russian vine. It was horrible. So wind changed direction, a bit of a blow up, and the next minute the whole tree just sets on fire, and I'm just like, oh my god. You watch the video, you can hear me. It's do you know what? It was some fire. I had 3 fire engines there. The whole neighbourhood was out. Everyone was recording. My van's on the front. I've got a lad going, these lads on his phone recording. These lads think the tree cutters. These lads think the tree surgeons. Embarrassing. It was the worst job I've ever done. But on the other side of the coin, the conifer went up. I'm not joking. In about 30 seconds, it was burnt to a crisp, and we just felt, we got up, climbed it, and then burnt it. The fire brigade put it out, and that was it. Honestly. It was easy after that.
How big was it? Because it looked like 25 foot, 30 foot.
30 foot, it's got to be. It was 30 foot. I might have a few pictures that I'll dig them out and I'll send. You can put them on to see exactly what the tree was like, because it was horrendous. It was horrendous.
Did at any stage you think, I'm done as a tree surgeon?
Done. Yeah, I was there. I feel the lads turned the tops inside out. I said, turn them inside out quick.
Yeah, but you got all your vans
in
the road.
I thought, my vans are on the front. We're done here. We're done. I thought, my insurance is gone. I'm going to burn all these houses down. It was horrendous. All the cinders dropped down onto a load of patio furniture. So all the profit off the job, I was buying people new patio furniture. So yeah, it was horrendous.
Is that your worst job ever?
That's the worst job ever. I've had some bad jobs in my time, but frightening. and you know, heart in your mouth stuff, that was it. When 3 fire trucks turn up on your job, it's time to throw the towel in, I think.
Definitely. So you go from that story, which is absolutely hilarious, to where you nearly ended up dead at work.
Yeah, that was...
Again, I've seen the pictures. If it's all right with you, we'll start showing the pictures up to people.
Because do you know what, as well, it's an eye-opener for... you know, we all do it. We all cut corners. I don't care who you are. You know, as a tree cutter, if you went by the book doing what we do, to you know, nothing would get done. And I don't care what anyone says. That's the truth. That is the truth. If you sit there and say you've never cut a corner doing this job, you're a liar. Simple as that. Because everyone's done it. Everyone's done it.
That's why I do podcasting now. Because I cut the corner, I fell out the tree. I'm not a massive fan of climbing anymore.
Exactly,
I won't be able to perform, won't be able to keep up with the lads. Profit margins would go down. I learned the hard way. You learned the hard way, but you are incredibly lucky to tell the tale.
Honestly, it was horrendous. So I'll tell you. I'll start off and let you know sort of the scenario so you can see it. Obviously, it was after 3 o'clock, about 3:30 that I did it. 3:15, I think it was. So obviously, everyone in the industry, if you have an accident, it's always about that time. Because you're knackered, you've been working all day, you know. I know another story about another lad that I know who snapped his leg at about 3:15, felled a tree. It bowed between the forest. It bowed between 2 other trees. He's undercut it. I'm there on site. And he's undercut it and it snapped his leg. It swung back and it snapped his leg on a hill. It was horrendous. Bit of a mound of dirt and his leg between where the tree's gone. And he's undercut it and it's literally snapped his leg in half. And the air ambulance come for him. I've got a picture of that as well.
You love getting pictures of you,
don't you? I've got a picture of that of the lad getting stretched off going into the ambulance and I've got my thumb up. Anyway, back to mine. So, won a job, garden clearance. Another fire job, believe it or not. So, landlocked back garden, we're having a fire. February morning, we gets there, sets the fire going, horrible back garden, just crap everywhere, we're burning this, that and the other, you know, there's loads of trees to come out. So anyway, it gets to the afternoon, last tree of the day, it goes up this ash. It was an ash in a bit of a woodland and it was overhanging this guy's garden, so it had a massive lean on it where it was fighting for daylight. So the crown of the ash, it's bowing over this garden, going right over into his garden. So all the crowns in his garden. So I had a blunt saw, and you know, like I said, last tree of the day, I thought I'm shattered. I'm just gonna gob it here. So as I'm going up the tree, got my strap round me. I thought I'll just literally go halfway up it, put my gob in, put my back cut in, and it'll fall into the garden straight on top of the fire. Job's a good one, because otherwise I was climbing up the ash, being, you know, and I know it is being lazy, but it's been pissing it down all day. You know, you're wet, you're cold, you just want to go home at this stage. So I gets up it, last tree, right to the top, where it starts to curve out. Obviously the crown is going straight into the garden, so it's like a bit of an R shape, the tree. So I thought, right, sod it, I'll just do it here. I'll put my gob in. So I'm looking, as I'm putting my gob in, I'm looking at where the tree's going to go, because there's a shed to hit, this, that and the other to hit, a pond. I want to miss all them, so I go to put my gob in, a terrible gob. And that cut I've done millions of times. As a climber, you do. You know, I've got every ticket under the sun. I've done every course under the sun. I've been doing it since being 16. You know, I know what I'm doing, and just this one time, lapse in concentration, put a terrible gob in. Before it, I put my back cut in without even looking, because I'm looking at where the tree's going to go. And next minute, the tree just splits right down the middle of Barbie's chairs from the top to, well, it was horrendous. The tree was a decent size as well. It was a decent size ash tree. So half of it, I'm strapped to the tree with metal strap around me. Half the tree's that way, all the crown's going that way. So I'm literally, that's at the deck, but still attached to the tree, and I've got my metal strap around me. It's sort of hard to explain. I'm sure lads can sort of picture it. And I get sucked into the tree by my strap and just basically crushed me inside. So Next minute,
Jeez.
customer comes out screaming. I'm screaming in the tree.
Yeah.
She's ringing an ambulance, and fair play to her. Lovely lady. I gets out the tree. I've got my saw.
How did you manage to get yourself down?
So, what happened was, because you know what ash is like, how fibrous it is. It's like it's sort of as it's come down. I'm attached to the tree, and then my carabiner sort of like it's like splintered where it's snapped, and my carabiner's gone. It's like got stuck between in the hole in the carabiner. So I'm sort of stuck on it. I've got the saw on me, but the saw's causing me pain because it's pulling me down. A lad that I work with gets up, cuts the saw off me, and then I managed to just sort of get my carabiner off and just fall out the tree. But I'm about sort of 15 foot up in the air, landing on a load of wet leaves. But that was the worst of my problems because the pain, honestly, it felt like someone was just ripping me insides apart. It felt like someone had got like a can of deodorant or, you know, a load of like lighter fluid, sprayed it in my guts and then just lit me on fire. So I thought at the time that my intestines were spewing out of me. That's how it felt. Yeah. So I gets out the tree. So I said to my mate, I said, pull my top up. I feel like my intestines have come out. So he pulled my top up. He said, no, you're all right. So the ambulance comes, mountain rescue come, air ambulance is up. So I don't know if anyone's ever been in like an accident or something when the paramedics come. I was in agony.
When you was laying there on the floor, did you think that's it?
That's it. That's what I thought. I thought I'm done here. And I said to my mate, I said, my partner's like about to give birth in April. I said, listen, he's getting upset, and I said, just say, I said, I'm sorry. I said, just let the missus know, and let the baby know. I was frightened. I was scared. Yeah. So anyway, paramedics come, and I'm screaming. I'm in agony. Next minute, I think I had ketamine, or it was ketamine, or 2 shots of morphine, or something. And then after that, I was all right. So I remember being laid there. So the mountain rescue comes to stretching me out. But the paramedics, they're trying to cut my clothes off. So they cut all my top off. I have this Stein top that I really like. It was like a dead tight fitted one, black one, and I loved it. Keeps you warm in the winter. I loved it. They cut that straight off me. I was heartbroken. Cut my t-shirt off me. Cut my brand new Arbortec fleece off me. I was fuming, thinking, oh no, you cut all my decent clothes off me. I go to cut my pants off me. I said, you're never going to get through them.
I've had this exact same situation. So when I fell out of that conifer tree, everyone knows the story. I'm not going to go on about it. They were there, 220 quid high flex. You're not going to get through them. It stops chainsaws. Exactly. Listen to me. Yeah. So they go through that the very top thin layer, and then you start trying to cut into the mesh. I went, thanks for just ruining my trousers.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I did.
They've got to pull them off. Yeah, and I only did my hip and my leg, and I was in agony. Can only imagine what you were doing.
Yeah, well, after my morphine, I was all right. So, like, I said, you're never going to cut through them. So I said to my pal, I said, just take them off me. Just take them off me. So, because it's going to take more time trying to cut them off. And then in the end, you have to pull them off anyway. Yeah. So just take them off me. So they took them off me. So I'm lay there in middle of February, freezing cold. They take my boxers off me. I'm stark bollock naked outside. I'm stark bollock naked in this woodland. All these people around me. I'm thinking, so I gets a blanket over me. As I'm getting stretchered out, they get me onto the stretcher. Yeah. As I'm getting stretchered out, there's a kid videoing me from the house with his iPhone like that, and I'm literally stark bollock naked. I ended up in the Jewish Telegraph, because it was a Jewish client we was working for. I was in the Jewish Telegraph. I think it was in something else as well. That I never read it up on it or anything like that. But yeah, that's basically what happened.
So what did you do afterwards?
So I'm in hospital, full of medication. Ended up having a big operation. I did it on the Tuesday. I had a big operation on the Wednesday night. They removed 70% of my bowel. I had a stoma fitted, which is like a colostomy bag. Yeah. So I couldn't go to the toilet through my backside anymore. It was all into this stoma bag. So I woke up from theatre. And I've got this stoma. I'm not having a clue what the hell this is. Yeah. And then, that was the start of it really. It was been a tough few months, really tough few months. That was in February. What we're in now, we're in August now, aren't we? So
Because that was in February this year.
This year, yeah.
I didn't know it was this year.
Yeah,
I
it
thought it
was
was like last year or something.
No, this year, yeah. I've done
You're doing
well.
all right for yourself,
I've
mate.
done well, mate. Yeah, I've done really well.
I genuinely thought it was February last year.
No, this year. It's this year. Yeah. I had
Christ.
so I had my stoma fitted, and then I had to go. I had some sleepless nights,
Yeah.
and then I've had some serious nightmares as well about working and reliving the moment. It was hard, difficult time, difficult period in life, and then my daughter was born in April, so I had to try and. I had stages of. I was on the couch for about 2 months.
Yeah.
About 8 weeks before I could do anything. Could have even stand up and walk. I was in agony, and then I managed to get myself better. And then I worked towards my daughter being born. My daughter was born, and then I just step by step from there. And then about 2 months ago, I had my reversal on my stoma because I weren't working.
Yeah.
Funds start drying up. Your savings start drying up. So I had with my surgeon. I said, listen, because they said 12 months, you're going to have the stoma on for, but I said, I've got my chainsaw pants on. So I started feeling well enough to go back to work. So I did. The lads proper helped out. Lad who works with Kelvin, he sort of ran the show for me, did a really good job. Yeah. I can't thank any of them enough, to be honest. And then I started getting back to work, started looking at work, working for the lads. Started feeling well enough, started coming into work. I had a crane removal booked in, believe it or not, in the end of April. So I wanted to be there for that. I couldn't really do anything, but I was just sort of directing traffic.
Yeah, just take a middle management role.
Yeah, that was it basically. So, yeah, every time I just worked towards a certain step.
Yeah.
Until I got fit and healthy enough to get back to work normal. But then I couldn't climb because I couldn't put my harness on because I had this stoma where your harness goes and I couldn't put my chainsaw pants on. I'd start working and start feeling better enough to work and start working hard, because you know what it's like when you're on site and all the lads are working. You've got to get involved. You feel like you've got to.
Oh yeah.
You've got to, if you're not giving your all for the lads. So that's how I felt. I wanted to give me all, but I couldn't. So I'd start working hard, and then I'd rub my stoma off. I'd rub my colostomy bag off, and then I'd literally be working, and then I'd have crap dribbling down my chainsaw pants. It was horrendous. And one time I was on this job and I changed my bag about 15 times. Now usually it's like once every 3 days or something like that, but I did it one day in 15 times in one day. So I was just working, I was sweating and just working hard and come off. But I got reversed about 8 weeks ago now. My surgeon was unbelievable. She put my case forward to the board and said, listen, he can't work because of he's self-employed, he's got a young family, he needs to get reversed. So they reversed my stoma, so I'm all back to normal now. Sort of. Go to the toilet a bit more than often, but I'm back to normal.
It's better than nothing, mate. Look, seriously, like looking at you, I thought this happened ages ago.
No, mate, honestly, I'll send you some pictures. I look like I'd been on heroin. I look like I'd been on heroin because I didn't eat for 2 weeks. Yeah. Because you can't, because I'm on medication, and it was a bad day. I was in hospital for about 2 weeks. Bad day, mate. Yeah. But we're here to tell the tale, which is
you are, mate. I'll give you that.
I'm not paralysed, which you probably should be, or probably should be dead, but I'm not. I'm here.
One story I want to talk to you about. Flicking through your Instagram the other day. Yeah. You got a fire engine. I thought, oh, for God's sake, he's only gone and killed himself again, hasn't he? So do you own a fire engine, or is it one of your mates?
No, it's a lad that I know. So he's an ex-fireman. He does a lot of groundwork and a bit of farming in my local area. So I had these conifers, and they were monsters. And I had a lad that I know, and I got his little Land Rover cherry picker in. Did the job, great job. And then I was speaking to a pal of mine, and he said, "Hey, do you know so and so's got a big cherry picker on the back of a fire engine? It goes 165 foot in the air." I'm thinking, no.
Gotta have this.
Yeah, I said no. He said, but I need to finish the rest of this job off. So I rings him up, said, have you got a mute that's it's on a fire engine. You look at my Instagram, it's on a fire engine. It's ridiculous. You can park it anywhere and you can hit anything from it.
Yeah.
So anyway, he comes down. He said, yeah. So come look at this job. Can we get this gate at this school? So I said, yeah. Comes down, measures it up. Said, yeah, we'll get it in there. That's spot on. So I did these conifers just literally just gobbing them and just chucking
Yeah.
them with the fire engine. It was unbelievable. I'm trying to get it out to rent it out to lads because I can keep you busy in this. So the lads will love it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's unbelievable. It's a proper fire engine. It's all
Yeah.
lowered and it's all. He keeps it right. It's unbelievable, and it's got a big. You can have a party in the basket. That's how big it is. It's unbelievable. And then you've got like. You have like you've my harness on, and he's got like a fall arrest that you put on, strap it onto the bars, and you can have like got like a balcony with a bar around it, so you can actually step out of the mute, not the out the cherry picker onto this like balcony that it's on, and then you can get anywhere. I dismantled a big ash tree with it about a week later because I thought I'm booking it in. I said it weren't ridiculous money. Yeah. The guy's sound. He gave me a good deal on it, so I thought I had this ash tree to do, big ash, over 2 houses. Half the crown was going over a road, half the crown was going over these houses, and I got it down. It got there at 9:30, and I had the tree down to felling height at 12 o'clock. Unbelievable bit of kit. Yeah.
Nah.
If you can get it to it, I'm using it every job I get. If I can use that, I will use it.
Yeah. Imagine you price up the job, come back 2 days later, there's the fire truck, the client's going, who the hell have we hired here?
Yeah. Well, he said, do you know what? He said to me on this job, he said, have you got a tarpaulin to put over, because on the main road this job, I said, have you got a tarpaulin to put over the top? I said, if you put a tarpaulin over it, everyone still knows it's a fire engine. You can't hide it's a fire engine. So we didn't put a tarp over it in the end.
Right, man, do something a little bit different to end off the podcast. Quick fire round.
Yep.
Right, Still or Husky?
Still.
Forced or Timberwolf?
Forced.
Oak Tree or Beech Tree?
Beach.
SRT or Double Rope Tech?
Double rope tech.
And then climbing or grounding?
I love climbing and I love grounding. It depends what you're doing on the ground. I enjoy both. I can't climbing. Yeah, climbing.
No, last one, rain or winter?
Winter.
Winter time.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Tom, thank you very much for having me out, mate.
Thanks for having me.
If people want to go follow you on social media, what's your Instagram handle?
Tom Cleary Tree Care. Dead simple.